Okay, this one I know a little bit about. Let's see what we can say about this thing. Okay, first of all, this is the Reaper, Ed's Reaper pepper. I bought these from Pucker Butt Company, Ed Curry's website. He sells seeds. I don't recommend buying Reaper seeds from absolutely anybody else except the creator of the seed. Not just because you may say he deserves it or something like that, but you know, he's the creator of it and he should get the royalties for it 100%. Not just because of that reason, but because you know, if you buy your peppers from him, you know you're going to get the real thing. And when you're dealing with like a true, you know, I've grown many peppers, and they can sell you scorpions and tell you they're reapers. And now that I'm actually physically grown two of the different plants, I can physically identify the difference between a reaper and a scorpion, and there is a difference in the plant. I can assure you of that. And the growth and the development and other characteristics of the plant while I sit down here and film this for you. Okay, what's the note about this plant? This is a very interesting plant. The stems are very, 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 very lightly furry. Basically smooth. They're like one notch up from not being smooth. They're basically very lightly furry, but you could almost call them smooth. Here's a flower. Flowers are slightly light yellow to green. They're very small. I'll put my finger up to them. They're not a big flower. They're a small flower. Beautiful flowers. They're that light green color. Very interesting color for a flower on a plant. The stems are all dark in purple. All of them. It's a very woody stem on the bottom, by the way. You can see there's a very thick base. It's pushing a ½ inch on that base right now. This plant was started in January, grew it throughout the winter. It was stunted because I didn't harden them off, and I put them out one day, forgot they were out, and the sun got everything and just kind of cooked it. So yeah, that's life, right? I mean, you're gonna harden your plants off. I recommend you sit by them like you read your newspaper. Don't even leave, because that you can be out there ½ hour too long and leaves start to turn brown and peel right off them. And that's what kind of happened to me. And I wasn't there though to rush them inside and start spraying them down with water, and I kind of let them go and I cooked it, and it came back, and the plant is doing phenomenal. Some of the leaves are falling off. I'm not sure why. We got a really, really heavy heat out here. Heavily intense. The heat out here has been 80, 90 degrees every day. Today's a cloudy day. Giving the poor plants a break from the intense heat. But this plant thrives in it. This plant will thrive in 90-something plus degrees heat every single day. Just give it water so it doesn't dry its root base out. Self-watering container, best investment you can ever make, especially for a plant like this, because this isn't just buying a plant seed and growing it. This is an investment. I'll have reapers probably for many years. This plant will probably outlive me. I could eat all the reapers I want. I can learn how to eat the super hots. Maybe I can become like Ed, and I don't know how Ed does what he does. If you ever see some of the videos of him, he doesn't even drop bat an eyelash for eating those things. And me, I'd be in the floor curled up. I wouldn't be able to eat this. I can eat them in food, but I just can't eat them straight like that. Any of you guys that eat hot peppers know exactly what I'm talking about. You know what a gut bomb is, right? Anyway, this is a gut bomb. But there's no way to really know until you actually have the real pepper in front of you and fresh and eating it. I have to go through the experience. I'm not going to do it on camera because I don't need to let people watch me suffer. And I keep my phone on tab in case I get an ulcer attack or close the airways. So I can just hit 911 and an ambulance come get me before I die, you know. If you can't handle it, yeah, it probably could kill you. If it's suffocating you and your windpipe actually closes up, yeah, it could do some damage. So you got to be ready for that when you do it. And I'm not doing it on camera. So what else to note about it? As far as the leaves go, they're narrow leaf, almost like almost rigidy, a little bit like habanero, but pretty much narrow leaf. Purpling on the stems. Here we go. Here's some fruit. Here's some fruit, guys. This is a beautiful, yet ugly looking Reaper right there. I don't see any tails yet on any of these. I don't see any tails. I'm sure they'll make tails. The classic tail. They're not always guaranteed to give you a tail. So don't panic if you don't see a tail. You may see tails, you may not. I can assure you that's a Reaper, with or without the tail. It just doesn't have the classic tail today, you know. She's not showing her tail. But those are Reapers, man. Guarantee you that. I'll show you a scorpion with tails. But they may develop tails still. I doubt it. If you don't see the tails this early in the stage of the game, you're not really going to see tails. Yeah, you can see some of the blistering. Get in close. They're a nice lime green color right now, real lime green. You can see some of the blistering. I'm going to taste. I just handled this thing, right? Handle it like that. Let's see if it burns my tongue. Just handling. If it doesn't burn your tongue, just handling it, then you don't have to worry about it. I just handled it, didn't burn my tongue. So far, it's good. So yeah, just handling it's not going to do anything to you. It's if you get the oil on you, or you get that oil in your mouth, or anything like that. So let me see, what else can I tell you about this? I told you I started it early. This plant I started last year in August. It was a fail, and I redid it again in September, I believe. It was the same incident. Most of these plants failed when I tried. It was too late in the year. You need that intense 80, 90 degree heat pounding on that soil, heating that soil up to like 80, 90 degrees. And then you'll get good, successful sprouts. If you just don't get that heat, it's gonna rot and die and never sprout. I don't know, but we managed to pull through. I finally got one out of I don't know. He gives you 10 seeds or something for $6. We'll review the seed pack when I get to it. What else about this? Yeah, I got a little water coming out of my self-watering container. You see it's filled a little much. You gotta just make sure you don't want too much water in there. You will get root rot. That's it. It's been dropping leaves. I think it's basically dropping leaves because of heat, man. I mean, the heat is the first day that we've had that's in the low to mid 80s today. Most of the time the heat has been up in 90s plus, just cooking everything alive. I mean, a lot of my plants are just suffering, believe it or not. You miss one day with water on these things, you don't give them the water, you don't make sure that these containers dry up, they suck them dry, you're in trouble. You know, they will, well, not so much the peppers, but like my tomatoes will definitely suffer. They'll go into a wilt. Even some of my larger peppers will go into a wilt. I'll show you those in another video that I'm going to do while I'm up here. But I think this video is long enough. That's it right there. That is your Carolina Reaper. I keep calling it California Reaper. It's Carolina Reaper. Puckerbutt Company.